When we commit to something, we stick to it. That's the Rocket Sloth promise. As newer content creators in the community of Halo, we've spent a lot of time observing what the ecosystem of the Halo community really is like. We look to other content creators and other influential voices in Halo to observe what some of the biggest contentious issues are. But seriously, sometimes the level of drama and disagreement in the Halo community as to what is best for Halo easily seems to be amplified by the fact that we haven't actually had a new Halo game in so long. And with only a few months to go until Halo Infinite releases, it seems like tensions across the community are at an all-time high. There's a new controversial topic in the Halo community literally every other day, and seriously, we need to have a talk. Now, it's not too often Luke and I have a big brain idea like this, but with the community's constant revolving door of what features are important and integral to Halo, and what features should be included in the game, and what approaches 343 should be taking, with just the little bit of time that we actually have left together before we enter a new era of Halo with Halo Infinite, we think it's absolutely appalling how this time has been absolutely wasted by some community members who are missing the number one and most important thing that should always be prioritized than anything else when it comes to Halo. And I'm really worried with how little time we have left, we may have lost sight of what's really important: the Halo 2 Spectre coming back. Okay, so you might think this is a giant meme or some video that you were baited into watching, but hear me out. We can argue all day about things like dual wielding or playable elites being in Halo Infinite, but have any of you actually stopped to realize it's been 17 years since the Spectre last appeared in a Halo game? Seriously, even in Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer, this vehicle was forgotten about. Back in the Halo 2 days, the Spectre was the Cadillac of cool. A ride that you wouldn't be embarrassed that your stepdad picked you up in after school. I mean, look to this chart. The Warthog, it only has room for 3 players, where if you look to chart B, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 players can ride on the Spectre at the same time. Now tell me what's more baller than playing Capture the Flag on Blood Gulch and being able to get all 4 players riding together over to get the flag, rather than one player being left behind to just walk on their own. I mean, it's not very cordial to just drive off and leave one of your friends behind, and we actually think the Warthog has been playing a pretty big role in perpetuating a behavior that has been dividing the Halo community for years. Also, the Spectre is red. Now if we look into the history of Halo, we can understand we started to enter dark times after Halo 3's release, and we did not have the Spectre in the game. Now mind you, Bungie did try to fill the void and included a brute prowler in the game, and while yes, it let us have 4 players in a vehicle together, that was awesome, it didn't quite break the duck. It didn't have a boost like the Spectre had, and that was a really important factor with the Spectre. Matter of fact, Rocket Sloth itself actually comes directly from the Spectre, where when we started this YouTube channel, we looked to Halo 2 for guidance and found the Holy Spectre, which may appear slow at first, like a Sloth or something like that, but you trigger that boost and you just rocket off. And you can add to the fact that you can actually shoot rockets off of it if you sit on the side seat. Bam! Rocket Sloth was born. Easy. And sure, we've seen homages to the Spectre in the past. We did get to see the fresh redesign in Halo 2 Anniversary, the campaign side of things. And back when Reach came out, the Revenant did share some of the hot rod creative that the Spectre was known for, but it was still limited to only 2 seats. And did you ever notice that the Spectre can just scale walls like it's nothing? I mean, that's because it hovers. See a mountain? Go for it. See what you can do with it. And you may be wondering why we're calling out other Halo YouTubers for this noble cause. And matter of fact, we're going as far as to call out more than just the Halo YouTubing community. We want to call out every single person in the Halo community. There's honestly not much time left before Halo Infinite comes out, and if we're gonna want to see something like the Halo 2 Spectre finally return in all of its glory, 343 will actually have to hear us. And we need all the help we can get to signal boost this and push the message that despite all the disagreement that the Halo community inevitably has, we can all collectively come together to agree that we need the Spectre back. And only then will the Halo community come together and be that unified force that we always had the potential to be. When Infinite launches, we would love to get to see Halo Follower, Hidden Xperia, side by side, arm in arm, with Halo Cannon on the turret, and Fletch from Ultimate Halo in that side seat, or join into a matchmaking game and see Termatius, General Kid, Mint Blitz, and Tepig just over there scaling some cliffs. There's so much room in the Halo community for new and fresh stories and memories to be created by the utilization of the Spectre finally making its return. There's so many prominent members of the community that we would love to see experience the Spectre and appreciate the Spectre for everything that it created for us and the legacy that it's had since Halo 2, and finally have us cruising around in style once again. Sure, the debates as to whether or not Sprint belongs in Halo will continue to run rampant for years to come, but at least we can do it as a driver and a passenger riding together in a Spectre while clapping in some big team battle. Now, at the end of the day, Luke and I are just two people, and our main way we communicate with our community and our audience is through content just like this. We can't just expect other content creators to jump on and join up with us. We don't really know how big our own reach could be, and while we know things like petitions don't always go anywhere, we are going to be starting an official change.org petition to bring back the Spectre to Halo Infinite. Like I said, we can disagree on a bunch of different topics for Halo and Halo Infinite into the future, but we can all agree that the Spectre needs to return. And we're hoping that if we could just get 1,000 Halo fans to sign this petition, maybe somewhere, someone at 343 might just notice that and be like, hey, look at those guys. Look, we can add one vehicle into Halo in the last 8 months that this game is going to be in development. And who knows what this could lead to if other content creators decide to jump on board and signal boost this and do something remembering the Spectre for all of the glory that it truly has. So far at the time of recording this, we have 3 signatures. So, we got a ways to go, and it's just me, Luke, and Dim, so. But wouldn't it be so cool to just see so many different parts of the community come together, so many different faces and creators and fans alike, just kind of yelling from their own soapboxes about the Spectre of all things? And not that this would ever trend, but just so we can find each other easier on other social media, especially Twitter, we're gonna do the hashtag bring back Halo Spectre, just so it also looks like a unified group of people peddling this a bit. We can take all the toxicity in the Halo community just for a little bit and turn it into pure concentrated 8,000 horsepower of Halo 2 Spectre, and then who knows what happens after that. And knowing the Halo community on Twitter, we are fully prepared for imposters to come along and try to dismantle our movement from the inside out, or derail our passion for the Spectre and try to have another miniature movement. So if inevitably you see a tweet like, but what if instead of the Spectre, we get customizable jetpacks instead? We have to remember, we are not going to be derailed. We will stand with the Spectre through the bitter end and will not become subject to such heresy. If you haven't driven around in a Spectre in a while, do yourself the favor, load up some Halo 2 and experience that vehicle once again like it's 2004 all over again and you're drinking Mountain Dew Livewire. And it's not really the best Mountain Dew flavor, but it's still okay and it's just different at the time and that's why it's special. And you'll finally understand what we're talking about. Remember, this is a chance for us all to come together and get behind a mission where we can feel excited for something when and if it finally does happen. Kind of like how Hugh Moran claps for the pilot upon landing every time he's traveling somewhere. We need that level of excitement if a long shot, like somehow resurrecting this old vehicle, is even going to be in the realm of possibility. But who knows? Crazier things have happened. Halo's on PC now, MCC actually works, and Joseph Staten actually came back to Halo. And maybe at the very least, the Spectre could make its return.